1 free opponent, classic. And is excellent. Provided I find my land number 3 and then 4 and then 5. So it's a bit sketchy, but with Jeskai Revelation you can play Ill-Timed Explosion as a sweeper. Well, I did kinda hated Explosion, it makes you discard your good cards that you want to keep. Can just play Day of Judgment, isn't that better? I want to lock down a single Cory Steelcutter. Given how heavy my hand is, I think I actually do. What is this? Mardu Steelcutter? You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. Cool. Beza draw a card. Whenever a creature you control enters, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. That's crazy. Seems like we are up against Mardu cards. Sure. Well, GG. That's incredible value. I think I can attack them. I'll negate their saga. Next turn, hopefully get a banger. Maybe I can just cast a dragon and like Abrade a monster. Sex Mage. You said Oppo was 1 free, and yeah. If you were. Alright. Are you gonna out-trick my Lightning Helix somehow? Another Sunpearl Kirin. My Beza has been damaged. NTR. Do I like NTR? Not really. The illusion of choice. Let's just take more damage and play Shiko next turn. Hold up Negate this turn for their saga. Play Shiko into Rediscover the Way. FOMO nie wiadomo. Dobra. Way Rediscover, double strike granted to my Shiko. Stock up, grabbed. Your move. Cory Steelcutter. That's fine, I'll just sweep it all up with a lockdown. Which I will find at some point. Stock up and Rediscover the Way, is that legal? Sure is. That's a concession? I have no lockdown, I could die here. Yeah, but the mouse police might come knocking on your door. No, I think those are pretty good against mouse, because you just... Like, I would keep all against mouse, honestly. I think the curve of going interact this, Beza or Day of Judgment or 2 interactions into Shiko, that's pretty natural and pretty awesome against aggro. If you need to, then Shiko flashbacks a Lightning Helix and you live. You do have a lot of breathing room with Lightning Helix. One's probably playing Nightmares. Day of Judgment maybe not looking so great. Let's keep one. See, I just interact on turn 2, rediscover the way, and then I win. In my Jeskai, but actually it's hidden Boros. Wilt-Leaf Liege in standard is something. It's also annoying because it's a card that no one has. And it's in Foundations, but it actually wasn't printed in Foundations, so nobody has it. So you need it to play, but it's just annoying. Good aggro start. You don't have 4 lying around from 16 years ago, Kaneki. I have not been playing shitty green-white modern decks. Thunder of Unity. Like Unity, like the programming language? What is it all about? Let's grab Beza. Seems like a good play next turn. Soon we're gonna be double queuing. You'll discover the way like the Knuckles meme. What meme? Oh, the way. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Holy shit, they're gonna pick up a draw 2 once again. Their deck is almost the same as mine. Chandra might be needed. Next turn, Shiko Pixie. Kill Pixie with a Helix. That will be a 12 life. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Can cast 2 Get Lost next turn. Nintendo, it's gonna be gone soon, don't you worry. But I can't do that myself. Also, I'll attack you for 8. To jump, that's fine. Corey. Kirin. Seems like Mardu Pixie is gonna lose this game, frankly. Paragon of the Way. When you zoom on Shiko, his white hair, horns, make it pretty hard to read what actually is the name of the card, so it almost seems like Shiko Dragon of the Way, which is such a simple and a goofy name, right? Dragon of the Way. Yeah, like, of course it's a dragon. Is that really its card name? But then you realize it's actually Paragon. Also, this is my sealed deck hand, which actually is a keep, given the Jeskai Devotee fixing my mana. That's awesome. 4/5. Oh no. What if I cast 2 stock ups to find 2 helixes? Only 1 helix? Right, Jeskai control seems good against Mardu Pixie. Or against Domain, which also plays creatures. Or black-green. Yeah, I think it is not necessarily needed to play both. Or maybe it's better served as a sideboard card, or maybe you want to do something entirely different. Can this card, it's probably the 6 mana card. Rediscover the Way is great, provided that I will draw a land number 3 that produces red mana, as I do have the third land. The entire game hinges on that. If I don't draw a land, I'll be wrecked. If I do, I will not be wrecked. No, I do palm. It's best I could play next turn. If I get Nightmare, that's probably fine. How many times have I faced Eshkin Limited? Once, but I had my own. And my opponent couldn't trigger theirs at all, and mine was a 10/10. Nice mana base, thank you. I have 5 cards currently. We're gonna throw out the Lightning Helix. So Beza gains life and draws, which is solid. We found a red source, so we are off to the races. Do I rediscover the way? Or just stock up? We stock up first. What are the races? It's a good question. I wish I had my Lightning Helix over my lockdown now. So I perhaps discarded the wrong card. Seems like villain ran out of gas and they don't do anything anymore, so maybe I'll just win by attacking with Beza 5 times. So opponent really just holding lands and NTRs and maybe a nowhere to run. Entity tracker, alright, you got me. I did tap out into your entity tracker. Kanister wins. Well, seems like a good matchup after all. I have Lithomantic Barrage to answer Kaito. Keep the Helixes if my opponent is on entity tracker. They probably don't play Kaito if they play entity tracker, but who knows. Day of Judgment is quite rough. Temporary Lockdown is hit or miss. Let's keep more point removal and even the Abrade if they play the entity tracker. I could play Tishana Tidebinder, but I'm not into... I did not like it much into those decks. So yeah, to investigate the leaderboard, So it's 8 points, so it's 16 points at most for a person. Doesn't temporary lockdown get hosed by Tatabe and give them a ton of value in this matchup? Well, it sure does. At times. But also they make tokens. Like, that's why I cut 2, right? Specifically, that's the reason why I cut 2. Beza seems good to play on 4. Maybe I should cut all of them, or should try to have a plan that cuts all of them, but if my opponent opens like this, like, I don't mind having a lockdown in my deck to get rid of those monsters pressuring me. Should I play Lithomantic Barrage and tap land on this? What am I doing? Well, let's just do it now after playing in untapped land. Pretty careless. If they Kaito, we can get lost. Kaito, I don't mind if my opponent makes Kaito even not there. Seems like they just have no place. Maybe they gonna play a end of turn entirety tracker. Nurturing Pixie. So in those spots I don't hear lockdown. Basically. Gonna have 4 cards in hand. So Beza will not draw. Still seems worth playing. Gain 4, make 2 fish. And you can have Negate to protect your self from lockdown later, getting bounced. Seems like villain just kind of at some point stops playing cards though. Another challenge. Well, it sounds like a problem. Sounds problematic enough. Let's see if my Chandra gets countered or not. Spell Pierce, somewhat brutal, I guess. To have a 6 mana card. Spell Pierced, but such is life. Maybe it would be wise to board out Chandra, if possible. Right now I'm looking for a lockdown, not lockdown, well, lockdown is fine. I'm looking for a stock up. Marang River Dragon would be better than Chandra in this spot. Shiko is not bad, but also not particularly good. Yeah, Shiko and Abrade. Deal 3, attack with their 4/5. Pass. Ella, 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 Ella. Ella, 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 Ella. Kaito, that's fine. Gonna freeze my Shinko. Then I have to jump. Can I still kill it? Maybe I draw lockdown and just kill Kaito. Maybe I just stock up into lockdown. That would be awesome. Should I just get lost this outer token? They start using the maps. Honestly, I probably should. Whoa. They want to draw a card? I mean, I guess like bouncing a Storm Chaser's talent is like drawing an altar. Finally, I found my first stock up, and now we can find two Rediscover the Ways. And it should be smooth sailing from now on. Helix. And just probably no attack, because why? Hopeless Nightmare. That goes to their graveyards, they don't even cast it this turn. Sunbillow Kirin, a 4-3 Kirin now, thanks to the maps. Oh my god, it's Lightning Helix. How many stock ups would you play if not limited to 4? The answer seems to be 7, given that I'm playing 3 Rediscover the Way. Oh my god, it was a Lightning Helix. Seems like Pixie has been demolished by my stinky control deck. Point moves to 5. I think you discovered Alize on this channel there, and it was like 7 years ago. Holy shit. Previously subscribed for 1 month, following since December 13th, 2019. Time flies when you're having fun, Nilarvis. Would prefer a land. Oh, my 1 mana spell. One mana spell to open decklist villains. I have many cards, I should spend them to play around Spell Pierce. I get lost now and then I play Lockdown. Sure. Which means I get Pierce, but I only take... There's only one prowess creature in play, so I'm not likely to die. You do get to use the mobs, I guess, so that's kind of whatever. Okay, Lockdown. Given that villain has 2 cards, I think I actually should Lockdown. Stock up seems great. Play the Steel Cutter. Any talent, so... Interesting, they did actively like hold or Lockdown us. They have 1 card in hand, seems like a good Beza spot. Lands, okay. Use talent. Pick up Sleet of Hand, okay. Your move. Oh no, they have another sleight of hand? Sometimes opponents are just too lucky. I'll just summon the show-off, which seems pretty good to me, for me. Because the only real issue I have found in this matchup is when they plot show-offs and then they have too many show-offs plotted. They can do too much in a single turn. Because their cards all cost 1 mana and mine cost 2, so if they just play out a show-off like that, I think I should be fine. I feel fine enough that I will actually stock up this turn. And Helix down the Birdman. Another talent. Oh wow. Very talented opponent. Or should I say very talentful. I need double blue. No. Double red. Assuredly no. Could use a second lockdown at some point, but I think we're mostly fine. One has used up a spell piece already. Next turn I can rediscover the way, still hold up 2 interaction spells, or Shiko into lockdown actually. Yeah, that's not the worst. Tatabe. Return fish, return Storm Chaser's talent, but the one on no level, interestingly. Could get lost a talent, or just negate the Tatabe. Let's negate the Tatabe. I think that makes it harder for my opponent to win. If they level the talent, I can get lost the talent. Temporary lockdowns catches permanents with mana value 2 or less. Temporary lock up would catch permanents with mana value 3 or more. That's genius. And very true. It sure would. I play Shiko. Is that the actual Shiko frame? It's an actual frame. Looks like shit, honestly, yeah. You think about it. Maybe, I don't know if I lock down or if I stock up again. Let's lock down. My cards look like this when I play MTGO on my Mac. Maybe that's how they got inspired to do this card style. We bounced 2 talents. Curious. Sweep the maps this way. They have 1 talent in hand. I think I can beat that. Opponent fighting with from a mull to 5. I think they were on the play. Yeah. Can board out Chandra and Doi of Judgments for Negate, change the equation, and Elspeth Smite. Less I can go. This is a matchup for me. A matchup. It certainly is. Odciąga mnie twe ciało i wciąż jest mi go mało. Does asking if it's a matchup imply good matchup or bad matchup by itself? Like, do they mean is it a matchup for me? As in, is that matchup favoring me? Maybe. There has never been a more up match. Yeah. Yeah, true. Honestly fair. I think I should play Elegant Parlor given my hand. I don't think it matters much. Well, if you spell pitch my cock down, I can lose, so this is your opening opponent for winning. Are Surveillance the best lands ever? No, but they are kinda necessary to trigger verges. Turn on verges. Lockdown no spell is the most obvious spell pierce that there ever was, but we have a second lockdown, so I'm gonna hope for that to clean up. And maybe a 1-die. Well, Slidepan is a great card for them to start with. What if they said if you kept on top, untap this land? Then they would be the best lands ever. Torch Tower? How does Torch Tower end up in your deck, my friend? What? 2 Torch Tower? Need untapped lands, white producing. Guess they don't have enough to board in versus you. But Torch? What do they need to cut? Like, whoa, I actually drew a planes. That's awesome. I forgot to put Torch out. Okay. Elspeth Smite actually doing some. Whoa, casting stock up over Spiring, really? That's crazy. Maybe I should have kept up a planes on top, because then they would not think of Torch Tower and they would actually attack. I think it's great for me if they attack. That was funny. I need to cast a stock up to pull ahead on lands. We'll see after I top RCMN, but Rediscover the Way is so bad. Why? Will I, or rather? I have liked it so far. First I thought it's like fine, but a meme card. Then I cut it. Then I went back to it to have more ways to just change Shikos, and it's good in that role. With 4 stock ups, you just don't find the stock up. Guess I die to Spell Pierce. Wouldn't play it over stock up. Do I play it over stock up? Maybe I should have not played a stock up on my turn. Kinda ran into the Spell Pierce for no reason. You don't, some people do. Okay. Well, it seems obviously worse than stock up, so I don't know why I would. I just play 7 stock ups, because I want to keep stocking up. I have liked it more than the 6-7 dragon. That one is hard to cast against aggro. A 3 mana draw spell is kind of fine to play against aggro most of the time. Red white. Well, I can play Helix on 2. Phenomenal control player, you know it. So both have 3 basics that turn them on. So it's no matter what I play first. So I'll play the Floodfarm Verge so that I don't have a decision next turn. If I don't draw a land, I just play Verges and they're both the same. Planes. Well, now we are between a rock and a hard place. What I think I like doing in this spot is helixing the monster, and then I can play draw spell on free. The music is unusually too loud. Volume 20. Maybe I just won't speak at all then, not to interrupt it. It's actually more tricky because just some time I just feel less energetic and I speak more quietly, which might be the case. And then occasionally it might be hard to understand me regardless of how I speak. Oh no, my opponent has less life than I do. Beza is bad. Alright, lockdown or smite. Both are seem viable here. Beza currently gives no value. Smite makes it easier to beat show off. I could just play a stock up, trade for a Pierce. Am I interested in that trade though? I don't think so given my hand. I'll take the cheap spell and can play stock up next turn maybe. I can maybe Elspeth Smite Swift Spear, which draws out some action. They cast Monstrous Rage, turn off auto yields. What's that? Opt? Is it resolving already? Seems like it's resolving. I would not mind countering then Opt in this spot, honestly. It's kind of good to just put them down on resources. The time spent thinking about that impulse could have been spent on no less than 4 amulet loops. Counter, slick shot, show off. I will spell pierce it. So yield until blocks. They should not see me have priority until they actually have the decision to play something after blocks. Which is great. I'll cast a smite on the show off at that point, and it's gonna be pretty good. Do I want to smite after damage? They do nothing. No, they will do something. The monsters rage the show off. Sure. Shore up. Oh, kurka. Well, you got me. You dealt some damage. How much damage is that? A lot. Why do you need help, Killer Switch? Thank you for the sub, though. Shore up seems great. To have one copy of, maybe. Not really more. Don't want villain to spin the maps. What to cut to put Ghost Quarters back in the Amuletos main deck? Well, back in? Were they ever even there? Well, actually I will kill the show off. So Ghost Quarters are not even that good, it's the issue. Because of the postboard mountain? Maybe we have plenty of them. But I would have a hard time. Like, typically it's just bad to build your main deck for bad decks. You don't want that. Like, it's not gonna be that popular. It's gonna be minutes at your executes, but how many there's gonna be? Oh, they drew 2 lands. My Beza draws a card. That's awesome. Perfect Needle. Srisriddle, kurna. Ziomuś. Skończ ten needlem. We draw a card and gain life. Abrade. Bit of a clunky draw. Could use a Shiko into Helix to stabilize the board. Yeah, 4 cards, at least some lands. I should be fine this game, but we'll see. What if they play Lynx now? Maybe I'm not fine if they do that. Cory Steel Cutter. But I barely knew her. But I plotted a show of us, I see. Need to stock up. Helix, lockdown. Might be hold up Helix turn then. Where is my Leroy, bro? Last weekend in a field of 40, there were 3 and 2 made top 8. Yeah, so you're just unlikely to actually play against them. Just dodge, bro. It is the strat. How good is this blue red deck? I might switch over from Otter combo. I think it's way better than Otter combo. Miles. Why not stock up before land of secret hit and tap land lockdown? That's a good suggestion. I think I let this resolve. The Helix, whatever they target. Or rather the show off. Maybe that kills me with a Pierce and wouldn't otherwise. Do I die to another monster? For sure I do. Holy shit, alright. Prowess is the best deck, chat. It's so good that it's like, wow. Incredible. But also, it would have worked out better if we had if we played the stock up as you suggested, chat, so... Interesting situation. Let's keep and believe in the Meticulous Archive's power to fix my draw. 2 Shikos. Crazy late game. Blue-black. Thundering Falls. Too many Shikos. Chic draw. Get it, chat? That would be a chic draw. Guess I'm forced to lock down next turn and hope it's gonna work out. How has this list felt so far? It's okay, alright. It's definitely a clunky control deck. It's mostly good against aggro. Two Fears. Now I am definitely feeling isolated. Or rather, I'm feeling fearful of that. I think the only way to lose is get Tatabed. So let's not. Did I see Dingo's blue-eyed list? It looked impressive. I did not. Do you have a link? Woke you up. It's good, it's about time. It's 3 p.m. Time to get out of the bed and do some actions in the world. A, kuszetka, dobra, rozumiem. Tata B. I counter. Spell Pierce doesn't exist. Azorius counter by Blue-Eyed Dingo. Alright. High noon. Fountain Pour just looked really good in every matchup. There's some merits to playing a 2-color deck, so maybe I should try it. The Triumph. Well, I guess no Triumph. The 10 surveillance experiences a bit rough sometimes. No, yeah, and wrong discard spell. Also notice how my verges, I have all 3 of them and I don't actually have access to all 3 of my colors of mana because they don't go in a neat circle. 2 of them have white in front, which is a bit painful. Alright, 2 Glock down. That's weird. So I have no blue mana. Should be able to choose which direction your verges go, but being unable to negate this stock up is actually, you know, humiliating, perhaps. Kaito. Sholdred. That's fine. Petition for Mr. Wizard to change the direction of the Floodfarm Verge in this deck. Or of the Riverpyre Verge. Honestly, you can also change the direction of that. That would be fine. I should have... whatever. Clean the maps. Let's see if my opponent beats my dysfunctional draw. Okay, I get a Wilt-Leaf Liege. Was that the plan? Okay, it was. Nice, they solved the problem. Liege beat down, more like Liege down. Stockapig. I mean, I'm not gonna scoop, but slowly all of my cards are filtering down to just the blue ones. Nic wody, jak marszałek pił wódki dużo. Dobra. I guess it was not... I was not supposed to. Turn 2 mana base at its finest. Bro, it was turn 8. Can't wait for Return to Lorwyn and what is he ruining a cool set. Honestly, agree with you fully. We've got a preview of that on Invasion of Lorwyn, which absolutely ruined all the legacy of Lorwyn already. Invasion of Lorwyn, and it's just actually elves. Winnowing forces. The issue with this hand is that it's not even necessarily great if my mana works. I have no blue. Broskis. What did I do to deserve that? Well, you build this stupid deck. I think opponent wants to Kaito. Which is fine. But maybe not, honestly. If I join untapped land, maybe I can play the drag on. Chuja kurwa, drop z tej pierdolonej ligi. Co to ma być za rozdanko? Seems like a giga keep because my Verge produces mana, which is a luxury in this deck, and I should not take it lightly. Do I care to draw a land? Not necessarily. I have 3 mana for Rediscover the Way, Lockdown. I would prefer to draw maybe a Get Lost to answer Kaito against a blue-black deck. Something along those lines. 3 mana card, stock up. Certainly I am countering that, my friend, and playing my own stock up, but with suspend 1. Stock up, finding stock up. So I think basically with the Rediscover the Way, well, even more stock ups, the main issue is when you don't play, when you just have 4 stock ups and you play Shiko but you haven't found your stock up, then you're in a bad spot. Oh, it's a control deck. You have nothing to flashback with Shiko, and just always having a card for Shiko to flashback that gives you card advantage is pretty incredible. They played Dispelling Exile. It's probably Dragon themed deck. Could just jump Shiko twice. It's strong with resolves. It did instantly. It's gonna be bad if my opponent actually plays the demon deck. Or should take planes. And if they play the 6 mana demon that eats up the entire deck, I kinda might just lose to that. Well, that is a problem. Rediscover the Way. There's not much else left in my deck. So I'm just kind of dead. I have to let their demon leave and then they outdraw me. But yeah, I have nothing in my deck. Well, sure. It's kind of weird that this card just makes you draw in your upkeep. Oh, they have the reef, of course. Damn, what a combo. What a fucked up deck this is. Stone Bryanek in. Temporary Cockdown out. Smite out. Abrade probably out. Maybe they play some cards worth abrading, but Destroy Evil? Why not? Change the equation. Go Scoom. My face when I am killed by 1 6-drop and 1 land. Bros, Control is such a bad archetype. Let's play Barrages. They kill Jace. Jace is in their deck for sure. No, I'm gonna submit. I trust in my surveillance, granting me some good stuff. Like Lightning Helixes. Let's fucking go. Wow, 1 mana, discard your opponent's entire hand. That's crazy. Alright, this is a big test for Stone Brian, and we get to actually see my opponent's deck, which is cool. We get to see what kind of technology have they brought. Or should I see next turn? Let's see next turn. Countering stock up sounds good. I am planning to name the Excruciator, which seems like a problem card. Okay, we can recast stock up next turn. We cannot cast shit next turn. So you have 2 copies of the card, but it does remove a pretty major aspect of their deck. And their deck is lots of discard, Marang River Agent, All Deep Gear Hulk. Just gonna take my Shiko next turn. But I can find another one for sure. Or another Stone Brain. Oh! If I name the River Regents, they are almost left with nothing. Your #1 hated deck list? Opponent's deck? It seems pretty cool, frankly. Let's play Beza and draw, right? Well, I can draw. We have Dreams of Steel and Oil. Negate in hand. through Stone Brains, they can actually have a target for their dreams. Why is Lightning Helix left in my deck? What happened that it's there? It's a good question. Destroy Evil kills the Manland at least. Ghost Vacuum seems better. Abrade, knowing that villain plays Gear Hulks. I think I was just not aware of what exactly is in my opponent's deck. How about attacking now? My opponent activates their Manland MTGO. That sounds not too bad. Who up oiling their gears? Opponent seems to be oil deep. They're oiling all the way. Jay's perfected mind, still going for the mill plan. I'll pay. Why not? Who cares? I can definitely just afford to pay. What removal have they left? 2 GFTOs, daily cover up. Daily cover up would be actually a humongous issue. That resolves. My opponent can find the sweeper now. Remove my board, exile my Shinkos, leave me with just this one Beza and Chandra to win. Which is an issue with the deck list, slight issue. Seems like they're casting a 6 mana card, that's fine. Are you bouncing? So Lightning Helix can go face, that's why I left it. I think Ghost Vacuum as an extra threat might actually be valuable. Destroy Evil. Maybe even Sunfall. Nah, Sunfall no. Going face seems only mildly important. Change the equation, counters negate. I guess that's all it does. It's pretty bad. Get my stone brained, exiled by Dreams of Phyrexia. Then die to a turn 6 Excruciator. That's my plan. That's my plan, Chad. Are you down? I ignored it. I've seen the same singleton yellow Lightning Helix from my Surveil both games. Kinda crazy. I would like to negate his stock up. Or at least make them unable to play it. Well, I will settle for negating a duress. Play the brain. a bit rough. Maybe I'm supposed to play Tishana's Tidebinder. I think my opponent is trying to ignore the brains, which is a scary strat. No? Do I want Beza? Can make a treasure. Seems useless. Can draw a card. I think I'm fine with a Beza here. Low ambush 5-2-3. Welcome. They have Tidebinder? They have Tidebinder. Going for the Excruciator. Maybe opponent boarded them out. It seems too good to board out. Is their sideboarding any different? Doesn't seem much different. Seems like they brought an extra all deep gear Hulk. No, they had 3. They have an extra deadly cover up though. Interesting. Negate, River, Regent. If they attack me, I guess I should take it because of Beza. They have Negate. So I probably want to play the Rediscover the Way to make them negate so they can draw a spell. I think so. And I play Beza next turn. They probably will not decide to play the dragon, but maybe they will. Oi oi oi. That's bad. So that ended up being really bad for me. Trading blows with Tidebinders. Oh, they don't even discard it. That's curious. Maybe they have the pay 4 counter. Maybe, but nope. Plays planes, then draws a Survey land. Well, nothing I could have done. They probably have land. No, they have a Marang River Regent in their hand. Baby version, by the way. I think. Not sure if it's a baby version. It's a version for sure. Barrage. I want a stock up. I'll pay the ward. I can afford it. I'm not a cheapskate. Can you put the cute baby Marang in your deck on MTGO? Let's actually see. I don't think so. I think you can put this, but not the backside. Holy shit, it's a baby dragon. What a marvelous idea. I stock up. Let's see if they can defeat a 4-5 Beza attacking them every turn. Coil and catch. I see. One 5 Beza. This was an extremely middling league in which my deck felt like the worst deck ever. The last matchup is certainly really bad. Lost to my mana base and to prowess anyways. Excellent, excellent, lovely.